Welcome to Trip Ideas by Otomo AI. Today, we are driving into the quieter north of Honshu, where mountains gather mist in their folds. Ginzan Onsen waits in a narrow mountain valley in Yamagata, gathered along the Ginzan River. Wooden ryokan rise 3 and 4 stories above the water. Their old facades carry the softness of age: dark timber, pale plasterwork, balconies, tiled roofs, and windows glowing through the evening. This was once a silver mining town. Now its wealth is quieter. It is in the river moving beneath small bridges, in the steam rising from the baths, in the warm circles of gas lamps, reflected and trembling on the water. Come at dusk if you can. The pedestrian street changes character as daylight fades. Guests walk in yukata borrowed from their inns, wooden geta sounding lightly on the stone. There is the low murmur of the river, the scent of warm food from a stall, and perhaps snow settling on the eaves in winter. Winter is the dreamlike season here. Heavy snow softens every rooftop, and the town seems lifted from an old print. But autumn has its own pull, with fiery hillsides above the valley. Early spring is gentler and quieter. In summer, the mountain air offers relief from the lowlands. Soak in an onsen, whether in the privacy of a ryokan bath or at a public bathhouse. Walk beyond town toward the waterfall among the trees, then return for a meal of hearty mountain food. Yamagata soba and local beef belong to the mood of the place, warming, simple, and satisfying. Ginzan Onsen does not demand a packed itinerary. It asks for one slow evening and your full attention. From the enclosed hush of the mountains, the road reaches the sea at Matsushima Bay. More than 200 pine-clad islets lie scattered across calm water, each one shaped by wind, tide, and time. Some are low and rounded. Some seem to rise from the bay in improbable forms. Together, they make a view that shifts with every cloud. Matsushima has long been counted among Japan's most scenic views. Poets came here, including the wandering Basho, and found the islands difficult to capture in words. It is easy to understand why. The palette is restrained but endlessly alive. Grey water, green pines, blue distance, and changing light on the horizon. Take a sightseeing cruise and let the islands pass slowly around you. From the water, their scattered scale becomes clear. Or climb to a hillside lookout and watch the bay settle into a quiet composition. On shore, cross the vermilion bridges to small islands once used by monks for retreat and contemplation. Visit Zuiganji, the great Zen temple, approached through cedar trees. Nearby, Godaido stands on a rocky islet, modest in scale but instantly recognizable against the water. Autumn brings crisp air and clear views. Spring frames temple grounds with cherry blossoms. Winter is sparse and bright, with fewer people and a bracing clarity over the bay. In colder months, local oysters are especially worth seeking out, grilled or simmered. Pair them with the regional grilled beef tongue and give yourself time to sit with the view. Matsushima teaches patience. Look long enough, and the light begins to tell a different story. Kakunodate brings us inland again, into one of Japan's best-preserved samurai towns. The streets are broad and calm. Along them stand dark wooden walls, old gateways, and the residences of warrior families. There is no need to imagine the outline of the past here. It remains present in the grain of the timber and the stillness behind each gate. The samurai district is best explored without hurry. Step inside the houses open to visitors. Behind their austere exteriors are gardens of stone and moss, carefully held pockets of quiet. Family heirlooms and armor offer small glimpses of the disciplined lives once lived here. Kakunodate is famous for its weeping cherry trees. In late spring, their long branches spill over the streets in pale pink cascades, nearly brushing the ground. It is a remarkable sight, though early morning is the best time to feel the town's natural calm. Autumn is just as compelling. Gold and crimson leaves burn against the black walls of the samurai houses. Winter brings snow and a deeper silence. In summer, the district turns green, humid, and pleasantly sleepy. Look for kabazaiku, the local craft of cherry bark work. The polished bark is made into tea caddies and boxes with a deep, warm sheen. And as evening cools, try Akita specialities such as kiritampo, pounded rice grilled on skewers, or a hearty regional hot pot. In Kakunodate, history is not sealed away. It is in the weathered gate, the trailing blossom, and the garden that has quietly endured. At Geibikei Gorge, the road gives way to the river. Sheer limestone cliffs rise above clear water, their faces streaked by centuries of rain and softened by moss. This is not a place for rushing through. The classic way to travel the gorge is in a flat-bottomed wooden boat, poled gently upstream. As the boat moves, the world narrows. The river is calm. The cliffs hold the light in cool shades of grey and green. Forest leans above the rock walls. Then comes the sound that makes Geibikei unforgettable. The boatman's song, carried across the water and returned by the stone. It is a simple experience, and that is its power. No engine interrupts the quiet. Just the pole against the riverbed, the slow glide of the boat, and one voice echoing through the gorge. Along the way, look for natural formations in the cliffs, including a great arch and a cavern near the turning point. At the upstream landing, a short walk leads to a traditional moment of luck. Small clay pieces are tossed toward a hollow in the far cliff. It takes patience. That feels fitting here. Spring brings fresh green and wisteria. Summer offers welcome shade beneath the high walls. Autumn fills the surrounding forest with red and gold, reflected in the river. In winter, heated boats pass snow-dusted rock in profound quiet. Geibikei is proof that wonder does not always arrive dramatically. Sometimes it is a river moving slowly through stone and a song fading into the distance. Our final stretch reaches Lake Towada, a vast caldera lake on the border of Aomori and Akita. Its water is startlingly clear and deeply blue. Wooded volcanic slopes circle the shore, and much of the landscape feels rugged, open, and beautifully undeveloped. There is an ancient calm here. The lake seems to hold the sky, the forest, and the passing weather in one still surface. Walk the lakeside promenade. Notice the bronze statue of two women by the water. Then simply stand for a while, watching the trees ripple in reflection. Lake Towada is at its most celebrated in autumn, when the forest turns red, orange, and gold around the shore. Early hours bring a more private feeling before the day gathers pace. Summer is cool and refreshing, a welcome contrast to warmer lowland days. From the lake, follow the water to Oirase stream. Here, stillness becomes motion. Clear water rushes through the forest over stones and around fallen branches. Moss gathers in deep green layers along the banks. Small cascades appear between the trees, and every bend seems to offer another texture of water. A white rush, a glassy pool, a silver thread over rock. This is a landscape made for walking slowly. Listen to the current. Feel the cooler air beneath the canopy. Let the road trip loosen its grip on the clock. Towada and Oirase offer a final kind of quiet. Not the quiet of an empty room, but the living quiet of water, forest, and time moving exactly as it should. This Tohoku road trip is not about checking off stops as quickly as possible. Its pleasures live in the spaces between them. The quiet road after rain, a warm meal at the end of a cool day, the pause before entering an old gate, the changing color of water beneath the sky. Ginzan Onsen glows beside its mountain river. Matsushima Bay opens outward, island by island. Kakunodate keeps its history in wood, stone, and blossom. Geibikei Gorge carries a human voice through ancient cliffs. Lake Towada and Oirase stream bring the journey back to water, forest, and stillness. Give these places time. Travel with the seasons if you can. Winter snow makes Ginzan Onsen feel like a dream. Spring fills Kakunodate with blossoms. Autumn deepens the colors of Matsushima, Geibikei, Towada, and Oirase. And in every season, Tohoku rewards the traveler who slows down. Thank you for coming along. For more travel inspiration and carefully considered routes, visit the Trip Ideas blog at otomo.ai. Until next time, take the scenic road.
Optimo AI. Better trips, better life.